Hello everyone. This video is intended to provide just a brief introduction or overview to NetLogo. NetLogo is a programming language and development environment for agent-based modeling. Agent-based modeling is a type of computational modeling that simulates interactions between individuals that tend to produce higher-level emergent systemic effects. As you can see, I already have a model loaded up here. This model is called the wolf-sheep predation model, and it simulates the predator-prey dynamics between a virtual population of wolves and sheep. The first two things to notice when working with a new model are the setup and go buttons. The setup button puts the model into an initial state according to the parameters set. The go button causes the model to run continuously. Pressing the go button again stops the model. In addition to the setup and go buttons, most NetLogo models have a number of different parameters that can be adjusted. In this model, we have parameters for the initial number of sheep, the initial number of wolves, regrowth time of grass, etc. Parameters come in the form of sliders, drop-down menus, and switches like this one you see here. You can try adjusting some of the parameters. For example, change the initial number of sheep and the initial number of wolves, and then press the setup button again, and that will generate a new initial state, and then we can run the model again. And depending on the parameters, we may observe, different results in the model. NetLogo models have a number of ways of communicating information back to the user. The main view, for example, displays the agents and their positions. We can also add labels, like if I turn this show energy option on and then I set up the model, labels for how much energy each individual wolf has will be displayed in the main view. Also, we have these monitors, which give us counts of sheep and wolves and the amount of grass, which is not enabled in this current version of the model. And then we have a graph here, which will show us the population change as the model runs. In the graph, you can observe the flux of the wolf and sheep population, and it looks like the sheeps go extinct, and then shortly thereafter the wolves die out too. So far, everything we've seen has taken place in the Interface tab of NetLogo, but if we switch over to the Info tab, we get an entire different screen with essentially what is documentation for this model. It contains different sections that describe what the model is, how the model works, how to interact with the model, and a number of additional sections. Every model that's available in the model library included with NetLogo should have a completed Info tab as well. The third tab in NetLogo is the Code tab, and we won't get too deep into the Code tab for now. What you really need to know is that all NetLogo models are programmed using the NetLogo programming language, and all the code that operates behind the scenes of the model lives here in this Code tab. The last thing I want to show here is the Models library. We go into File here, and then we just click Models library. And we get this library of a bunch of sample models that are included with NetLogo. As you can see, there are sample models. There are a whole lot of different categories here. We can go into biology, for example, and we'll see a number of different biology models. We'll see a thumbnail generally, a title of a model, and then a brief description of the model. And then here we can go and open, let's open the moths model here. And we get a whole new NetLogo model here with a whole new interface. And then any model that's in the modeling library we can open, and we can go into the Info tab and read how to interact with the model. And this is a really nice way to explore, especially if you're trying to increase your familiarity with NetLogo.